Alright, let's see if this is working. Testing. Works for me.
Oh, I have a background up. I didn't even know I had a background.
Oh, that's a nice
this is that
background.
other account, that's why. Yeah. For some reason, Skype just logs you out randomly for, say, oh, by the way, we're logging you out.
Yep. By the way, we're live. I just don't have you on screen.
Gotcha. Hey, everybody.
Let's see, here's that one. Bye-bye, fish. Oh, and I saw someone comment on my fish frame rate needed some improvements. Yeah, that is, I've got like a 30-foot USB 2 cable. I don't think it has like extra power or anything, or repeater or any of the stuff that makes it fast, so I think the camera's okay and the cable going to it is no good. I liked your other background better.
Yeah, tell me about it.
That one's just all white. Blinding.
It cuts in and out. It makes, close the curtains anyway.
Oh yeah, I had a request again to go somewhere. We'll go back there.
Yeah, it's better.
Alright, I think we're just about ready. Let's see, and I don't think I saw any updates on the official new thing. We're in a new month, but we're going to keep the same phrase as last time, because I have not updated anything. Spring has sprung. And Elgarion is not with us tonight. He was taking his lady friend out for the evening. I told him that was great. Let's see, but spring has sprung is the phrase. It looks like everybody's saying it in the game, so that sounds like they know it's good. Let's see, set weather override clear. Pop. Alright, I think we're about ready here, and it looks like it's 4 o'clock, so let's see. So yeah, it's one of those things I hate talking about the important stuff first, because people are still falling in. I guess we have 80-ish people in there. That's probably enough. No, it's 22. The patcher. So we had a failure happen in a patch like 3 patches ago that I have not seen before, that we've never seen before in years. And the exact cause I'm not going to go into, but we know how to avoid it going forward. The fallout from it, though, was it created some bad patches. It created a bad patch, and we had to create a jump patch. So when we created a jump patch, that also has not been done in the past 2 years. I actually had to get Burning Toad on the phone and get him to help try and, between the two of us, figure out the missing pieces. But I got that, and that's actually well documented now. I know exactly how to do that. There's one mystery that when that was switched back over, our Windows player version only, the GM version was fine, but the player version did not create a patch. I had done 2 or 3 builds, so there were a lot of files there, and I didn't notice that it was 1 file short, because there were about 9 or 10 files already there, so I missed that there was 1 file short, which is frustrating, because that's the whole reason I go and manually check it. I actually have a process where I leave it, so I have to manually upload it so I can manually check it. I just missed because there's a lot of files there. So that one missed a patch, and that one with no patch, no way to get to the newest version. It switched to the newest version, there was no acceptable patch, and so it did a full patch. So that was fallout from the previous issue that we had that I spent the weekend fighting with. I saw that, and in a panic, I tried to do the patch, fix the issue, did the patch, and we have a hype train going there. You guys know for every level you get on the hype train, I'll do 1 extra round of drawings, and I did not turn up the hype train difficulty or anything, so it's whatever it's been at all along, so should be pretty easy to get 2 levels or so. But anyways, So I created the jump patch. So I created it. It would not accept it. I know why it would not accept it. But what I forgot is when I did that, it recreated. It set the latest version that it creates patches off of to be a different executable than what was actually out there that you guys were on. It was only a couple of bytes different, but it was different. So then the next one came around, and it was doing the patch. It tried to create a patch from that one, the one that you guys never got. So, and anyways, end result was back-to-back full patches. That should not happen again. This is one we did not have a way to test player patches without actually publishing them first. We can test the final version. We can download the executable and try the executable, so we can always test that, which is what we do. But we didn't have a way for us to test the patch that was going to be applied to you guys. In 6 years or however long we've had the patcher. But anyways, yesterday I actually sat down and got the patcher stuff, got the old version of Unity installed you have to use for it, but I got it so I can actually debug it, so I can actually go through and test patches in the future. But that should not happen again. Super sorry, I know that knocked a bunch of people out of game for a while there. Our torrent server, I looked and it was well over like 2 terabytes by itself. I'm sure you guys were also, I heard a bunch of people saying, I'm seeding as fast as I can, because our patcher lets people help if they want to help push out data, so our torrent server did not catch fire. But anyways, super sorry, that should not happen again. We know there's no mysteries left in it now, though. And hopefully everybody has a pretty good connection. And I know there's a handful of people who are still downloading the first patch when the second patch went out, so they had to download 0 to whatever and then 0 to whatever again. So, and I know a bunch of people couldn't get it and they were having problems, and it was because they ran out of disk space because it downloaded 2 9 gig patches or whatever. And then it also requires an extra 10 gigs that it says has to be free for it to apply the patch. So you actually needed, if you didn't have more than 30 gigs free on whatever drive it was on, you might have been locked out. So, not a fun week for me. How about you guys? Let's see. I'm back in Baron's Reach here today. I actually claimed a home here in Baron's Reach. Well, kind of.
Your second house? Really?
A second house. This was just for grins. You can tell there's a tree that comes right through my house. Look at that.
That's not a house. That's a ringstone.
But yeah, well, that's ringstones. But anyways, I was doing this actually because I was doing some testing. I needed a place to test, and this was the scene I was in, so I claimed it. But if you want to, you can be my neighbor by this ring of houses or ring of stones here if you want to.
Oh, really? There's an opening?
Yeah, it's got deco. Of course it has deco. Yeah, I got a fish and a pillow. And I did have a training dummy. I'm not sure what happened to it. I think I might have picked it up.
I'm getting reports that my voice is low.
Yeah, your voice probably is low. There you go. Try it now.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
There we go. Now you should be loud. All right, let's see. Hype train's at level 3, so we already got 2 rounds. If you guys can get to level 3, you're already halfway there. You might as well get it up to level 3. And then we'll do a 3rd round. We're doing the prizes at the end of the stream now just to save time so we don't have all those interruptions because we create enough of our own interruptions without having the prize interruptions. I will thank people right after this is done, though. I see someone, Bridge Troll, saying, that Ravelox? That Ravelox. You got a haircut, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's back to normal. Your life was, well, your week was hectic. Mine is actually starting to get back into the daily order of things. Still a few things going on, like last week with the pup going to the vet, which was not a happy time. And
yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, and but getting back into the swing of things here, putting more time into the game now. Got the player cemetery going. It's currently in a beta stage. If anybody wants to take a peek at it, It's at the main entrance to the Brittany graveyard, and you just hang a right once you come into the scene, and you'll see a fenced-off section. That's where we're going to put player memorials. It doesn't prevent anybody from still doing player memorials wherever they want in their own pots or, on lots out there. But we're going to have a spot where players can actually, who pass away in real life, can have a spot in the game.
Let's see. Just checking the chat there. I'll get the questions up here in a minute. But anyway, so it's a week after the release. I think we got the biggest issues resolved in patches. We got a bunch of bugs fixed, and then we got some mount issues fixed. Training dummy fixed. Sounds like the pets and dungeons and other places fixed. Basements and such fixed. We also have the left bar. We've got some work done on that should help performance a little bit. I've not gone to check any metrics on that stuff to see how that's holding up in combat. Hey, you got the level 3. Congratulations on level 3. Oh wait, did it get to level 3 or was that the end of the hype train? I didn't notice which one. Level 3 completed. Congratulations. But anyways, more recipes, more stuff out there. It seems people are really happy with the loot. Getting a lot of course, there's always get a little mixed feedback here and there, but I think people overall are very pleased with some of the changes that Algarians put in. More to come as well. Let's see. Oh, as for... I was trying to get do something as an apology to you guys for making you guys download a bunch of huge patches. Oh, it looks like they're going for 4 here. So one thing that's going to happen was we didn't want to do a crown sale. I know I had a few people say, you owe us a crown sale for the big patches. We didn't want to do a crown sale just because we just did a crown sale last 2 weeks ago. And we're trying to keep those fairly spread out. But what we are going to do is later tonight, we should have a rapid fire sale come on. So won't give you a sale on the crown side of things, but you guys should get a sale where it does the sale updates every hour or two. I forget what it is. Hollyhock. So 2 XP. So here's a funny story. I actually was looking into the 2 XP. I'm going to try to get that going tomorrow. It will require a client patch for me to do it because we do have a way we can turn on double XP on the server without actually pushing out a patch. But as some people might know, we actually turned on double XP a long time ago and it's never been turned off. So I need to actually go and make... I was just finishing up code to do a 3 XP thing, which will basically be 50% more than you get right now. But yeah, you guys really like the double XP thing, I know. I'm going to try to get it up to get it so it'll be 50% more XP, but I'm having to make a few changes. It's going to be on the client side too, or else the client will, the server will try and tell it to, here's your bundle, and it won't match up, and you guys get all sorts of errors. So once I get that one done, then I should be able to turn it on and off through the server. Oh, it looks like they might get level 4 here. Got some generous people out there today. It's Thoric. See, I'm still trying to figure it out if it's Thoric Omara. I think it's Thoric Omara. Trying to always figure out how to pronounce that one. That is our Iron Hall governor. Should I go over to the Brittany graveyard? Is it worth me walking over to look at?
Sure, why not?
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Keith isn't here. So that means we should show his level too, because we were supposed to show that last time, and we didn't do that. So get your questions in, and we'll spend the second half of the stream doing Q&A. Until then, I'll go check out some new content here, but let me fly around here, just give these guys a quick preview for anybody who's on here. But this is the town of Barron's Reach. They've got some new space that they just opened up. I forget, but I think this may be like a Gigalopolis or something like that. So when they expanded, I think they've got some new lots opening up. But I think they're also doing some events to get some people in here to fill up some of these other spots. But again, very nice town. It's not one of the more common pot types too. A little swampy, but yeah, again, Always impressed when people have walls that are well done and layouts that are well done with the streets where I can get above them and see them and fly. Oh, there's one little area right there. Look, their street doesn't match up. I'd never live here. Their street is slightly off. Alright, might be a little too critical. A lot of this stuff you can't see until you get up here in space and look at things. But, anyways, I'm going to go over to Brittany Graveyards, and it's just Brittany Graveyards, right?
Yeah. Singular.
Graveyard. There we go.
Graveyard.
Oh. 99% with 25 seconds. Come on, get that. Oh, nope, 100%. There we go. Level 4 hype train. Completed. See if they're really energetic. Want to start us off on April. Right. Oh, yeah, so we had the April Fools. I guess I can talk some about that. I honestly forget what we gave you guys for April Fools. We talked about a lot of stuff, and then I think a lot of ideas got shot down. And then the one thing I was going to add into April Fools, I didn't get time to add just because I had so many fires going on, as always. And so I did April Fools a little bit, and that I put it in my Twitter feed. But I'd actually threatened to add a Atos' Greatest Hits wax cylinder collection and record some really bad songs for you guys. Because how else could I record them other than making them really bad? But ran low on time, so I just teased that I gave you all of the greatest hits you want to hear in wax cylinders. I didn't know if people caught that. Oh, I will record some stuff there for you, so you can torture people at parties. Am I headed in the right direction? I know you're probably a couple seconds behind. I forget where it is. Whoa! Man, they are trying to finish level 5. Start us off the month right. Is that it over there?
Yeah, you want to head south. So you're in the right direction.
Okay.
Of course, you use the dev command to get into the scene, so you didn't start at the entrance.
I'm getting there.
Yep, just head towards the statue.
Oh yeah, I'm by the big statue.
While we're waiting for you to walk along here and get there, we're trying to put something together for this weekend, some kind of event. So on Saturday or Sunday in the afternoon, we're going to do something, but it's a mystery, so something's going to happen. And so keep an eye out to the game. Maybe there'll be a notice in chat someplace that we're doing a dev event.
I may run a dev event or two myself. And also I had some players. I'd mentioned, I think on a last stream or maybe in Twitter feed or something, that I was using there's a video stream. I found that promoting video streams that have somewhat positive content, even if it's honest and mixing with some negative like the review I was promoting, but promoting those seems to be our best dollar to get people into the game. But I had a couple people come out and say that, great, let me make you some videos. But if you're someone who wants to do that, absolutely, I will gladly take those things and I will promote it, which is good for you too if you want to put it on your YouTube channel or whatever, because then you can help build your audience, your crowd, because I'll be sending people to your video channel and maybe someone will subscribe. But anyways, I had a couple people requesting, if you're someone who's been a long time fan of the game, helper in the game, is someone that has been around quite a bit, I am more than happy to help you out and tag you to be a player GM to help you with, and then give you a few potions to help you with video creation, because that does give you some abilities that you don't normally have. They wanted it just some guys wanted it just because they wanted to do some video clips and they needed to slew in a non-POT scene, like fly around so they could fly the camera around. But anyways, if you want to get involved with that, let me know. Happy to take some videos. I'm also promoting some of the videos we used last week as well. So, but again, that seems to be going well. Quite a few more players per day coming into the game. It's one of those things that's really hard to tie down to verify that they're coming all the way through from the ads to the game, as we've seen for years. It's a really hard round trip to test to figure out who comes in through the ads. And 5. So stop. No more bits. No more. Because I think the hype train stops right there. They hit level 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Level 5 complete.
Yeah. For those who don't know, if you see people saying love the extra loot, so Elgarion took a pass on cleaning up a lot of loot and just doing a lot of stuff that we'd said we were going to do for a long time. Move like a lot of the drops down in terms of making them far more common, but then making them the most common version of like artifacts and stuff like that. So we are keeping an eye on things. Gold values were adjusted so it's not generating more gold than it used to. Technically, again, when we talk about gold value, the gold value we're talking about is you find an item, you can take that to a merchant and sell it. That's the gold value we have to watch, because that actually determines what gets into the economy. So those are brought down, so that has not changed significantly. But it is generating a lot more excitement that you guys feel like, you get stuff more often, which you do. And again, there's going to be a lot of changes coming up that Elgarion and Bezos and I are going to be working on in terms of various salvage stuff and how to, like pulling the coolness out of artifacts. You can use those as a socketed type thing. But we've talked about it. So this was a tick release. For those who were paying attention to the release that just came out last week, this next one is a talk release. We should have, so after talking it over with people and getting the request, nay, demand, that they get some time to polish some of my work on the Rise and some other stuff, I'm holding the Rise until next release. So you guys will not get the Rise expansion yet. Keith wanted to have a lot of time working on it. And I think some other people want to go play through some of the things because it's got some new mechanics to it. So that'll be coming out next time. I'll get that on QA very soon, though, for you guys to try out. And also the other one that was a holdup was, speaking of loot, was Elgarion was not going to have time to do any loot stuff for it. So would not have seemed nearly as cool. But next release is a talk. We will be adding at least the Rise expansion, which will be another entire wing to the Rise. And we will be adding... the Panopticon, is that it? Did I say it right? Panopticon?
Panopticon, yep.
P-A-N-O. Everybody had to Google what a Panopticon was, and it's P-A, not Panopticon. I kept hearing it say Panopticon, but it's Panopticon. At least that's how it's spelled. I don't know how it's pronounced for sure. But anyways, that'll be there. Travis's level was put on the stretch goal thing. We're trying to, I think his level is ready. It's the new creatures that are at that everybody wanted to have some a full release of playtime testing stuff. So that may be another one that shows up on QA but does not show up on live here soon. Pan. Well, you want to give us a quick run through of what's going on here? We've already did.
Sure.
I'll point out because I noticed it here too. The visual feedback from the artists on this stuff is the grass is too thick.
Yeah,
man, that grass is
so we'll
thick.
be fixing the grass.
Look at that. The grass is crazy.
Yeah, there's still a lot of work to be done here, refinement stuff, but the base layout and everything is what we're going to see. So basically, go back to running over here. In the center we have an eternal flame. It's going to have some words from Lord British on it. When you hover over the tooltip's not quite there yet. And then the graves will start on this side of the yard, and the stones that are here right now are just for demo purposes. They're not in the right places or anything like that. So, but I wanted to put up the various types of stones that I have available to us at the moment. And of course, this isn't even all of them. There's more stones. There are more stones in the world as well that could be thrown in here. Right now, I think we have about 6 or so different player names that are going to end up in here. So we'll have 6 stones put in place, and we'll place the stones as they go. So there won't be, unnamed stones or anything in the place. Currently the vases that are at the base of the graves are not the ones we're going to use. We're making some custom ones. Keith is going to work on that, and it's going to have the same type of functionality. When you click on the vase, you'll be able to kneel down in front of the grave and pay your respects and leave some flowers behind. So,
kind of like that. Yeah. Hey, you said Richard's going to have some words on the thing back here. Have you thought about asking Richard to record some words?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
I've already got
like that.
There's a couple places I use that. I think most famously I put it on a rock, but we've got a thing where you can just have it so when you walk into a space, it'll start playing, a music track or audio. But yeah, that'd be great if we just got Richard, because I'm sure that's the type of stuff he would do in a second.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I worked with him on the words, so I'll definitely just reach out to him and see if he'll record it.
Yeah,
that'll work out good. Cool. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about it. It's a subset graveyard or cemetery. I'm calling it a cemetery within the graveyard, and this will be here so that way players who we lose in the real world will have some residual remains in the game. Right? They'll stay in the game forever. I still plan on adding some like marble benches and things like that throughout, that type of thing. So there's a little bit of refinement in the decorations and things I'm going to do, but for the most part, it's pretty much how it's going to be.
And who goes into the graveyard in here?
Right now, you mean specific ones, right?
Well, I mean the specific ones, but also, I know we had a long talk about some concerns about like maybe the people's families won't want them in here and that type of stuff, but
right, and yeah, so that's under development. I'm actually working on writing up an SOP for how the process will work, which of course will publicize to the player base and get things a little bit more officialized. So that's in flux right now. What I'm doing is trying to do a whole like a complete thing, right? Not just one piece. So my goal here is to have policies, processes, and procedures, and sound a little corporate about it, but put it all together so that way the players know what they would have to do to try to get somebody into the cemetery here, and I also want to cover guild masters who want to have somebody just in case something happens and they're not around anymore to take over their guild, POT governors to designate somebody to be a beneficiary for the POT, things like that. Because a lot of this stuff can end up obviously outlasting ourselves. So I want to get all that stuff, type of stuff in place. So I'm writing all that up, and obviously the team is going to have a meeting internally and review it all, and then establish our official policy for it.
Yeah, but this is not going to be something where you have to like pay to get somebody in there. This is something to reward, to show actual respects for long-term, players.
Exactly,
that,
right.
There's still players I see mentioned and talked about it from Facebook friends and other stuff that they miss some, people in here. So it's to pay that type of respect.
Exactly right. Yeah, this isn't a pay for service. Everything that I just rattled off, all the beneficiary stuff and everything, it's going to be part of part of your account and the ability to have those things in place. And then as I said, like Chris just said, it's a long term, long standing. Kind of along the lines of like the OMB stuff. People who are well known by the community and have been playing the game a long time. That type of stuff. That's we have to work out how we're going to write up the eligibilities and stuff like that to get into the cemetery. Because obviously space is limited. So.
And if you have somebody you want to throw their name in the hat, hopefully you don't know anybody whose name you want to throw in the hat, because that means you're no longer with us. But definitely let us know, because that can also, while we're forming the plan for how this stuff works, that may help us add some rule or make something easier for them. But anyways.
Exactly. Yeah, just PM me on the forums or send a note to support.
Yep. And good start here. It's one of your first level building things I know you did out here, so.
Yep.
And yes, that was the first comment all the world builder people, artist people looked at and said, that grass is so thick. Making the rest of the grass look shabby out here.
Yeah. And of course, there's a section of the graveyard on the other side that has it thick too. So I've been directed to adjust the grass throughout the entire graveyard scene to make sure that it's not so thick. And of course, the reasoning behind that is that there is a performance hit for this. It's taking some extra CPU time to generate all that.
And I'm trying to find Keith's level. We'll go take a quick look at it, and then we'll jump into some Q&A as questions are coming across there. And also do some thanking of people. Because, yeah, I think they zoomed on up to level 5. I need to turn that up a little harder. Let's see. There we go. So this will be the first time this is shown. Oh, somebody's messaging me. Obsidian Panopticon. I forget how I misspelled it there, but I found it eventually. Whoop, almost wrong way. Oh, looks like it got the discoveries in. So this is the first time we're showing this. I don't know if the version that is here has been spawned yet. But we did do a walk through and play through type thing to give feedback on stuff. I hate giving away too much of stuff going on here, but obviously this is made Old Obsidian's group. Lots of work going on, but... Oh. Yeah, this is an older version. It still has the pink in there. Pardon me, magenta. But in case you don't know what a panopticon is, it is like a round, multi-level stone prison thing, which is what this is. And of course, Sanyo's doing it, which means there's going to be lots of story behind it, and quest stuff going on behind it. And the stuff he had, I walked through it earlier, just giving some performance feedback tips. Oh, I got to fix that. It's a catch.
I think Sanyo is asking to be added to the stream.
What? No, I don't think we want to. No. So this is all kind of like a stupid level, and it's horrible. And let me show you the worst parts. No, hold on. I'll get Sanyo in here so he can give actual, real feedback here. Hold on. Where'd he go? That guy. Whoop. I think I added Rick too. He's not going to answer. All right, Keith, you can tell us about your own level instead of me
looking
butchering
at this dumb level.
Stupid level.
It's the worst.
So bad.
I think that magenta pinkish material should be fixed because I
just didn't
did check everything in, but it hasn't advanced to wherever you are right now, I guess. Is this a live server where you are?
Yes, this is the live build, which has not had any updates on this, because why would I update the map that's not live? Yeah. And we're in, we've lifted lockdown, so we will probably do at least one more patch, maybe 2 more patches, but it will be just things that are urgent, so we don't risk breaking anything more, and I don't risk pushing out another 9 gig patch.
So Panopticon is an architectural style where you have it's set up so that you can have a minimum amount of observers with the maximum amount of things observed. So it could be like someone in the middle who's looking down a bunch of hallways, one guard station, a bunch of hallways. In this case, there's the rings, so there's a minimum amount of guards can sort of go up that center. In case you can't tell, there are elevators. It's a series of stacked elevators in the middle, and they could look around the 3 rings to look at the prisoners, and the prisoners can't really hide behind anything, so they are observed front and center. Usually it's a prison, but not the kind. It could be like other things. It could be like some sort of training facility or something like that too. Anyway, in this case, it'll be run by Obsidian Elves. It'll be in Mistrender in the eastern island toward the south. We're gonna have I don't know if I actually said this before, but we're gonna have an Obsidian Elf city of sort of like neutralish obsidian elves, and they will be nearby this, so that there's kind of like an obsidian elf presence in that whole area. A couple different factions. So there will be prisoners in here of different types. Humans, non-obsidian elves, kobolds, things of that nature. It'll be a little bit more like a noble adventure scene. It's not made for to be focusing on a boss fight or whatever. It's kind of more flavor and fiction. There'll be probably a lot of extra conversations with different prisoners and the different dialogue that they have. There'll be you'll need keys. You'll need to pick up keys as you go. So there'll be keys that unlock the elevators, each stage of the elevator. So ground floor elevator, top level elevator. You're asking, will it be an underground city? No, it's not an underground city. It's in a massive canyon. And if Chris can sort of pull back and look up, you'll see that there are chains that hold the rings up. I guess if they ever wanted to, they could just release the chains that the whole sort of the three connected rings will just sort of collapse. You can see on this level where Chris was, there's this chains that hold the lower level up to the next level above, but then also the top level has these massive chains that hold it up to the edge of the canyon wall. And there's also these little blockers. Lots of spikes all over the place that'll do a little damage if you try to sort of zip up and down the chains or go over the walls. One thing I want to point out to everyone is that in each prison cell area, there will be a pile of refuse, or something I call it. There will be I forget what I call it, a makeshift lockpick or something like that. Because if you don't have a key and the door locks behind you, I want you to be able to get out. I don't want to have a sort of secret button somewhere. Prisoners obviously can't get out, but maybe some prisoner had it somewhere and dumped it in, next to the toilet. So anytime someone gets stuck in there, they have that option to sort of just dig through the garbage, refuse, and pull out a one-time use lockpick that'll get them out of the cell area. So Chris is running around the corner. Chris, if you could jump down in one of those cells. You see the cells are pretty big. And inside, look. Yeah, you can go. They're all roughly the same, so you can do it in the middle level there. That's fine. If you look against the walls, you'll see these little alcoves. There's a little toilet area, and in that toilet area, there's the pile of refuse where you can get the lockpick thing. And then also there are we have our normal prison seats on the side walls, but on the back wall, I have an alternate version of I just sort of stretched it out a little bit. It's actually a bed. Nothing too fancy and crazy for everyone. So Chris is locked in because he doesn't have the key, but if he were to get the lockpick, he would be able to open up one of those locks.
Oh, I got a lockpick. I can't get it to work.
Are you unlocking the door?
I'm trying.
Check on that if it's not working right. It's always worked right for me, but sometimes these things don't.
Works on my computer.
What's the message? Are you getting a message?
I'm not seeing a message. Oh wait, this door's locked. You'll need to find a key to open it. Use the key.
So you're not clicking on the. I think I know what maybe it is. If you're not clicking on the are you clicking on that itself?
Yeah, I may have used my. Yeah, I used my lockpick already. Whoop, maybe not. Nope, I got it.
I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Obviously, still pre-testing phases. I also tried to do a special gimmick where you can unlock it from either side. Normally, the key only works on one side, but I tried to do something where it would work on both sides. So maybe I screwed up something there. What else? So there are elevator keys to activate the elevators, and then there are prison cell keys, which are separate. There will also probably be a watch commander key, which can be used on either the prison cells or the elevator. So if you see a slightly tougher guard walking around, then you probably want to kill him and take his key. So there'll be a lot of ways to get keys, and you'll be able to stack them up. You won't have to have one at a time, so you just sort of collect them and keep them to one side. What else? There are traps here and there. I don't think it's on the version that Chris is looking at right here, but I have like little fire traps, icicles that fall on your head. That's a new thing. There'll be what else? I think I did a couple other traps. There are so that's the basis of it right there. The explosive barrels. We have those red barrels in some scenes, so they'll be in here. These guys keep explosives. These mean guards keep explosives in case they need to just blow everyone up. At the basis of ground level is this sort of squared off guard station. That's in the middle of the scene. So when you pop up on the scene, you're actually at the far end, or you eventually can lock the both ends, this front and back, north and south. When you first come in, you will come to like a smaller station. It's not the station at the base of the whole Panopticon, but it's just sort of like a walled off station that'll have some guards just sort of like there to sort of stop trivial visits. You're not really supposed to come here. This is like some of the worst of the worst who aren't legally set to death will get sent to this prison. And I'll come up with some quests for everyone to sort of help support the nature of the scene and some of the people inside the prison and some guards. So everyone will have their own little sort of dialogue and such. Matcha Fazinos asks, will any new dungeon pieces come from this scene, please? I'm not sure. I don't know about dungeon pieces because it's not an interior, and the big rings are super custom. So I don't know if they would work in an interior. But like if Travis maybe wants to sort of like pull apart some of these pieces and rework it, you can feel free to knock himself out. Fine with it. Dark Obscuro asks, who's sending people to the prison? That would be the Obsidian Elves. There is a large contingent of Obsidian Elves on the island that will still, as the name suggests, follow the old Obsidian ways. And they're bad guys. They are here to fight, and the prisoners are probably also not good people. They're not necessarily freedom fighters or whatever. They are, bad foes for you to fight as well. There might be one or two that relate to quests that really aren't there to fight. They're there to transfer information back and forth or whatever. Bad guys is such a strong word. Bad girls too. Bad guys, bad girls. Whatever your gender. There's a lot of baddies. Chris is trying to go up the wall. There is a little ladder right there if you just want to skip to the top. There you go. Right now, some people might notice, like in the background, there's some icicles that are sort of at an angle or maybe even upside down. Those will be fixed. This is still block out. It's a late stage block out, but it's still what we call block out, which is sort of get the pieces in place, get this sort of sense of like the path. The main path is actually pretty easy. There's like sort of like a zigzaggy curve on the ground to get you from the starting point to the center and the Panopticon, and then past that to the far side of the scene. But we also have some little paths, little side paths that go up the side of the mountain, a little bit up the side of the canyon wall. So there might be things like elementals on the side that you'll be able to fight, to sort of vary things up from the Obsidian Elves that are owning the center and the start and end areas. And
awesome.
I probably missed a bunch of questions. I don't know if anyone else had any questions.
They were asking if you would be able to use the pickpocket skills to lift keys off unsuspecting guards.
Can you do that?
You can lift keys? Yeah, you can pick stuff. You can pickpocket stuff off guys, but
so yeah, there won't be
no one does it.
Quest specific, so they won't be blocked or anything. So if keys are something that you could pickpocket, I don't know about that, but if there's something you can pickpocket, then sure, there'll be something you can take. Contests taught just other players. Is that also NPCs? Can't you pickpocket NPCs?
You know, I have not tried it in a long time. You could, for a while, pickpocket NPCs. But
Yeah,
you just
it's been a long
got
time.
mostly junk. Players will tell us the truth. Just players, I think? Okay. I know I'd never pickpocket, and I forgot what we had done with that. I know we had pickpocketing NPCs for a while, but it's just too tough.
Maybe that's something
problematic.
to look into, maybe on specific cases.
I know there's I remember having a lot of talks on it because there's all this talk about, like, well, virtues, and then, like, okay, well, people are just going to intentionally use it to, you know, as a virtue pump to do whatever whatever they want to with their virtue. But I just threw up a bunch of
they
questions.
can steal books or whatever from people's houses and just push it that way. And we have, like, extra options for virtues these days where you can sort of do dailies or some other things and just sort of all fine, just coax your virtue in one direction or another. Players don't know, the nitty-gritty details, but they have a better sense now. They can push it one way or the other. And I'll probably also, as I keep trying to do, give you some choices in here. It'll be mostly with the quest where you can sort of like work your virtue one way or the other. I don't know if there'll be like 6 options like I did with Allfine. Allfine was like a big deal, but I'll try to do as much as I can here. I might pick sort of like a two virtue modifier, like let's say it is like a love and courage sort of theme, combination of 2 things. Those 2 things maybe are affected, and then I'll have some like a plus and minus. But but we'll see. I'm still sort of considering what I might have. Like I'm kind of like an iterative designer, so as I come up with the pieces, I also come up with ideas like, oh, I just some happy little thing just changed over here. I like the way this looked. I like that I accidentally put these rocks here. And then it occurs to me that maybe there's a body underneath these rocks. And now I know I want to have a quest related to the body under these rocks that I didn't even think about before. So I can definitely have stuff like that. And now I actually want to have a body under some rocks. Now that I just said it.
They're asking what tier the scene is going to be.
It'll be 14 plus. In that ballpark.
I just saw somebody posted a question about what happens to the tooltips. I'm not sure what they're talking about. Do we have a way to toggle off tooltips that maybe they toggled off? Because they're saying,
they do.
Yeah, so I think he probably toggled off and didn't know that there's a way to toggle off, toggle on tooltips. Because my tooltips seem to be working just fine. Comma by default, people are saying. Yeah, we got some of those things. I wish we had that. Maybe we get that on our short list of things to add. Is just something that somewhere you can get a status for what some of those things are. Because some of those like deco mode and other things that are not obvious when you turn them on or off, or walk mode.
Submarine Mike says, "Is it next release that we'll be able to master?" Oh, I thought he was asking about this. Sorry. Is the next release that we'll be able to master work and enchant the belts and Shepherd's Crook?
Yes, I believe Beezus, that's one actually Beezus added, and he's working on. Beezus and Elgarion are kind of tag teaming a lot of the crafting changes and loot changes. So B is hitting that part. There's a bunch of things. I've got a long list of stuff that either Beezus is going to do, or I'm going to do, or somebody's going to do. But I know that there's some stuff for like salvaging right now. You can't salvage anything in a stack, and we want to get it so you can salvage things out of a stack. So that may be another one coming. I've got to finish looking into that. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff coming, including the belt masterwork enchantment, I believe, should be done by next release.
So one thing I'll also mention about the scene, even though you come at the base of that canyon, like ground level, below ground level, I don't dismiss the idea that some players will be enterprising and adventurous, and they'll sort of get up and over to the top of the canyon. So I might have some activities at the top of the canyon. It won't be a focus of it, but you'll be able to sort of get up there, and they'll probably be like, polar bear and wolves kind of thing at the very top. You can see it's pretty deep, like the angle that Chris has. So you can see like this whole thing is pretty deep. So there's some activities inside on the side of the canyon wall, but also there'll be a little bit outside the canyon.
Oh, I'm totally getting up here. And so this will happen in next release, and the Rise edition will happen. Travis's map, which is the giant map, is still a question mark, but it's mostly there. So again, we'll probably, if it's not live next release, it'll be on QA next release.
Yeah.
And we should probably go ahead and...
I might split my content up where I might not have quests in right away for this Obsidian Panopticon, but there will be... my intent is to have like the scene laid out, all the blockout finish and all the decorations in place, all the bad guys in place, and all the onks and discoveries and all the normal bells and whistles that would be put in place like this. Question: will it snow in the Obsidian Panopticon since it's a snowy scene? Yeah, it should snow. It's the normal weather stuff. The only thing is that it won't rain. It's raining where Chris is right now, but I've actually turned it off. Travis told me I did, so it should not rain. And also I set it up so that way if you're underneath, like these the rings are huge, they're really wide, so if you're underneath, it'll actually block the precipitation. So that actually works out. So the weather should feel correct.
And you can't see
normal day-night cycle, day-night cycle going on here.
Yeah, you can't see it in this mode, but there's a weird fog in this scene that will be going away as well. If you saw that dark circle around.
I got rid of the custom camera that I copied from another scene, and it's now a default camera.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything else that we need to fiddle with it, default camera, that would be good for this, then we could do that too.
All right. Well, cool, awesome start, and looking forward to playing it with creatures coming up. But now I need to dive into questions. I gave you guys a bunch if you want to pick some off there. Random Dude 611 says, an important one here, now that we have Steven here, the rest of the maps, when?
Yes, I'm starting to work on those this release.
Okay.
So, yep.
I think I'll have to go pull it for you. I've been instrumenting a bunch of stuff and adding a bunch of things, but I think I may have actually added a metric so I can make you a chart of which maps people try to pull up the map for the most, and the map isn't there.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, so I could reorder my priorities.
Yeah, so
right,
just in terms of priorities, that's that one I thought would be used, but I forget what the message I put in there was, but I'll get that figured out for you and get you some data for it.
Yeah, cool.
Crossfire Bugs Eye asks, can we replace the ownership sign with the stone on owned lots? I hate having a for sale sign up in front of my owned lots in West End.
Yeah, we talked about this actually a while ago, and there was some back and forth. I actually brought this to the team's attention and said that I had experimented and figured out how to do it. Of course, it's going to be a lot of work to go into each scene and swap the stones out. I think we left it where it was kind of ambiguous. We didn't really have any strong feelings one way or the other. So it's just a matter of the workload, I think. What do you think?
I think maps are higher priority.
Well, yeah.
For me, if it's something between your time, and maybe the maps is one we just need to sit down. I know we did this before and we cranked out like 100 maps or whatever, but just sit down and everybody on the team do map stuff and spend a couple days hooking up maps so we can get those all done and out of the way.
Right.
I have another one here from Crossfire Bugs Eye. Saying of the month, case sensitive. It is not. It is not case sensitive. You can capitalize it however you want to. You can also,
has sprung.
Yeah, you can also have junk before it and junk after it. So if you want to put in there, super lame Atos says spring has sprung is the key phrase of the month. That will also work. But yeah, and that's right. I need to run those soon here, but I want to get through a bunch of questions because we got a later start. See, Sanyo, if I'd just gone in here and wandered around, we would have been done with that thing in like 5 minutes. I would have been in there complaining about, look at the pink. Oh, this ladder doesn't work. How do you open these doors? See, I gave you the option to join earlier today. You didn't volunteer, so.
I was distracted.
Who else didn't volunteer? Let's see. El Garion, what stuff of his can I go make look bad? Let's see.
It reminds me of one of my brothers where he would sometimes, like when we were younger, he'd put off fixing some, doing some chore around the house. And then he'd blow it up for so long that you just start to do it. And then like, no, you're doing it wrong. And he'd come over and just like do the whole thing in like a few minutes, where it would take me like an hour or two. Just be done with that.
Let's see. Eric Earl says, do we know that the spring fountain with candles doesn't light up anymore? Maybe we know that. I know I did some performance work on it a while back, but that was like 6 months ago. If it's been broken for 6 months, this guy probably did it. But that thing is performing so much better now. I know that's not what you
Seminolis is asking,
here.
does the Panopticon rotate? It does not rotate.
But that would be cool, but nearly impossible.
Yeah, our NPCs can't stand on things that are moving,
Yeah.
so it would just be empty. But if when you eventually get into the scene, you'll see that this change that hold it steady, from one level to the next, and then also the main level on top. It's all fixed chains that's super sturdy. Nothing is set to rotate at all.
Let's see. Alexander Soda says, will the Ringmaster vest ever be masterworkable enchantable? Yes, I am surprised it is not. I will get that on my list of to-dos. That's a really quick one. Of course, that Elgarion guy is going to be going and he changes a lot of this stuff now. He's trying to do some normalization on stats and trying to pull some things up, some things down in terms of what they do. But he's already done a lot of those, and you guys probably didn't even notice. So I think those are all... I don't think you have to worry about it changing too much. But yes, I can get it masterworkable, enchantable. Let's see. Puddlefoot
Did you talk
asked
about
one.
the 3 NPC lot limit yet?
I think we talked about that last time, but for those who didn't know, we did change the NPC towns. You used to be limited to 3 lots in those, and now you can have any number of those lots. So feel free to go claim some of those. And again, we hadn't worried too much about the NPC towns just because I think the player towns ended up turning out so much better, and you guys do such a better job with them that NPC towns weren't as desirable as we thought. But yeah, that's now been lifted, so you can go claim a couple in any town. I know there are a couple of people at least, who wanted to for story reasons and stuff, role-playing reasons, wanted to be in NPC towns. Let's see.
I'm going to also mention that Beast Striker 2 mentioned that to them it seemed like the clopping sound for the coconut mount doesn't the sound doesn't make anymore. The traveling coconuts, I keep losing it. Traveling coconuts don't seem to clip clop anymore. So if you can't hear a sound, definitely submit a bug on the forums and we'll look into it. I know Travis has anecdotally sort of wondered if some sounds weren't playing just in general, but he hasn't really looked into it, so we don't have any evidence of anything, any sound not working. But if you can give us specifics, then we can look into it with the information you provide. That'd be awesome.
Let's see. Puddlefoot asked one that probably needs to come back out. I'd put this on somebody else, and it still has not been fixed, so I probably need to jump back on it. It's a lot harder than it sounds, and this is actually one that when I started on, I started fighting with it and then basically started rewriting the whole targeting logic section. But Puddlefoot's question was, what's the status on fixing the targeted spells that hit nearest friendly entity versus your target? That is one... This is what people refer to as the bear that steals the heal or whatever. And that is one that can be really annoying, I know. It is a lot tougher even just to reproduce. I did find a repro case and put that in the bug, but it has not been fixed yet as far as I know. But that does seem like a good one to go hit up now that we're in super bug fix mode. Let's see. Since release, some mobs are running at like 100 miles per hour. Is this intended? Which mobs? That is absolutely not intended, so I don't know what that is. Would be interested to hear more. The only ones I know of, the only thing I know of that changed with speeds or nav mesh stuff were things in basements. So maybe if it's a basement thing, that could be a change we made.
So, same thing as before. Be sure to put a report up on the bug forums with details and screenshots or links to videos if you have any, that type of stuff, so we could take a look at that.
Let's see. Can we get a burning skeleton conversationalist? Ooh, that's good. Yeah, that's the type of stuff that Elgarion is adding and loves adding those and can crank those out really quick. So I'm sure he can get one of those. If he usually goes and watches these streams to make sure we don't talk too bad about them.
We just have to make sure that the effects aren't too over the top. Yes.
Yeah.
Light sources or whatever.
Let's see.
Would it count as a light source too? Would it project light?
Burning Skeleton? I thought the Burning Skeleton had VFX, but not a light source.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So, let's see. Someone asked, when will the Greater Demon be added? We were talking about adding this. I forget, maybe I was talking with, I forget the guy that's Super Chaos guy that really, really, really wants it. But it is planned on being, it is still going to be added. But it probably will not be exactly what you think. It's not going to be the standard pet. It's going to be more of like a summon and destroy is kind of the current plan for it. An uncontrollable summon it and it kills everything around it type thing. So I don't think it's going to be added this talk. We did get, I think, had a little creative breakthrough on the new skill tree, just talking at the team meeting. So there's some headway on that. Sanyo did a great job and has got all of the skills written down, which I think we're probably going to go change a bunch of them, but keep the general idea.
Just as a starting point.
Yeah. But anyways, those will probably happen quick. I actually just made 6 new skills, but it was 6 new skills for creatures, or 7 skills for creatures. But I was actually going to go ahead and boilerplate those guys in and try to figure out where to wedge that tree and which school it's going to go. But it'll almost certainly go down in strategy, so maybe we can rearrange these guys again rather than having Bard in the middle. That made sense when it was 5, but when we get to 6, we'll probably just go back to circling them at the edges. So that may be coming your way soon, Devil Colt. I know you're out there listening, even if you won't join us on the stream. Let's see, lots more questions coming in.
There's one related to skills for me, I guess. Mad Chef asked, have we considered spreading the master trainers around so more NPC cities would have them and encourages people to go to the NPC cities more? So, sort of a two-part answer right here. So as we put in more trainers, like say for the Bard skills and whatever the new skill trees we might have, we'll put them in different cities. We won't overlap them with cities with existing Bards. But probably they're going to be episode 2 Mr. Render based. I guess it depends. We'll have to make the call on a case-by-case basis. I don't really want to move an existing NPC from a place that players know where he is, and he has been since like even before the game started, before the game was launched officially. When we had permanence, we had those guys like locked in there. But I'm not against making a similar NPC in another spot that might be more accessible. Like, so if one guy, we have 5, like you point out, we have 5 trainers in Arteris, or master trainers in Arteris. Maybe one of those guys, if the fiction was appropriate, we could copy his logic and his data and reproduce it in a different, unique NPC in a different part. Maybe he's in the Norgard area, or maybe he's in the Hidden Vale area or something like that. So that could be okay. I don't have that on my list, but that's something I'll keep in mind as we fiddle with NPC trainers.
Dr. L asks, bolster balance can make 100% resistant to stun and knockdown in PvP. Is that intended? That is not intended. That's probably one that needs to have another look at it. Again, we have some of these skills where they need to be taken a look at to adjust the math curve for them as things have shifted up. There's another one dealing with attack speed with chaotic feedback, and I won't say how else, but you can actually get down to a number that is incredibly close to 0 or actually 0. Which I actually found this out because I started seeing divide by 0 errors coming up in math, and it was because they got that basically attack speed to near 0. It's not actually 0, but for some of the math calculations it is, due to some blocking animations and other parts, though it's not quite 0, but that will be fixed as well. I'm looking into that. I'm actually having put in some more logging because it still seems like you shouldn't be able to get there, but yeah, functionally 0. That will be fixed here shortly as well. That's another one of those where, again, it should be approaching 0 and then, curving up. So that'll be changing. Let's see. asking about some pets, cat pets. So actually probably the first cat pet that will come online will actually be the mechanical cat pet that'll probably come with this new tree. It'll probably have some pet stuff that will be for mechanical, like robotic stuff. So that may be the first cat pet that you can actually have. Let's see. When will atonal area be fixed? It does not stack, and no crits have ever been in it. I'll look into the no crits that was added, and I thought I'd remove that, but it may not be removed. As for it not stacking, I'll have to look into that again. The bard spells are a little weird in that the actual bard spell just creates an area effect volume that kind of follows along with you. I'll have to look at what's going on with that and the stacking, no stacking. Ladders are currently broken. Only work about half the time. Bugman, do you know anything about ladders being broken?
No, I'm actually not aware of it.
He probably put that in there because I tried a ladder in the Panopticon over here, and it took me back to where I was. I think that's just a hookup mistake by Sanyo. I wasn't going to call it out when it happened, but
so the short ladders inside the guard post thing, they're only one direction. They because it's so short, you don't click on it to go down 3 feet. So it really only goes up. It's a one-way ladder. I could change that though if you think players will want to click instead of doing that little hop to get down.
Okay, I noted it down. I'm going to go test that. See
all right.
what happens.
Let's see. Blade Mastery seems pretty weak skilled. Do you guys plan on changing it to make it more worthy of EXP? Yeah, I'm going to be taking a look at all the combat stuff. Again, there's about 3 or 4 skill trees that make up, half the people in the world use those 4 skill trees, and then the people who are using the other ones are people who aren't min-maxers or just trying to do some role playing, and that's what they want for their character build. So I'm trying to bring them all up to the point that they're competitive. There's a couple of trees that have to come down a little bit, but it's not going to be that much. I am working on bringing more stuff up, and that includes getting some more attack spells and a few other trees. So we'll see. Damon is going to be crushed this release, but he may not be needed to add VFX for some new skills and stuff like that, so I might be able to sneak in a new skill or two this release. And that's also one that maybe I can get Travis to do some VFX for me. Or I can do them, because if I do the VFX, that guarantees that they will get off their butts and quickly go and do some VFX for me to make sure my VFX don't get in there. Let's see. Any love coming to Focus Spec? Maybe it actually is one that gets quite a bit of use, surprisingly. Irish Eyes has one here, and I'm trying to rip through these guys because we're already over time, and I haven't thanked anybody, and we haven't done any prizings and all sorts of stuff here. For Ravalox, are we getting lava grottos? Please! They didn't say it that way, but I thought I'd read it that way. That's from Irish Eyes.
Gotcha.
I gave a little attitude.
Yeah, I think we could do that. I think we could manage to get that going.
Still want the lava grottos. I'm going to start running some prizings.
Leilu420 asked, where are all the quest givers in random encounters? I rarely get a quest giver, survey ticket, bounty, slip, or credit card. So you have to kill a bunch of waves of bad guys and then kill the sort of boss wave, the big finale wave. And then once you kill them, then there's sort of like a 50% chance roughly that any one of those special NPCs will run up. They might not actually run toward the center. It kind of depends. Their ability to move kind of depends upon where you are in the scene. The closer you are to them, the more they'll move. So basically, if you don't see them running to the center, just sort of like run around the edge, and then maybe you'll find one if you don't find it right away. And potentially, it's not going to be there at all, but you have a 50% chance roughly of one of them showing up.
Let's see. I got some more questions here. Let me go see why my thing. There it is running. Okay. Let me get some more in here. Ehondas asked, can we get Kilrathi? No, you can't get Kilrathi because we don't own Kilrathi. There's some Star Citizen stuff that they might let us use. They're actually one of the people we've actually done cross promotions with that I feel like it was worth it for both parties involved. But no, you can't have Kilrathi. Can we have a wolf pet, please? Do they not have wolf pets?
I don't think they do.
What? Why do they not have wolf pets? That's one that, like, totally... I see no excuse for why they do not have wolf pets. I think I just didn't realize that because I assumed everybody was using a bear.
Can't you tame them? Do they mean something else? Yeah, people say they have wolf pets.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I thought I set this. Went and did a stats pass on them, and I made the bears were like resistant, and pigs had the most hit points, and then I made wolves have a higher dex and higher crit rate.
Oh, wolf deco pets is what he means.
Yeah.
Oh, wolf deco pets. Yeah, that question was from Crescent Plays. You can't keep... Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's not in there. That also seems like one that is a no-brainer.
Yep.
Let's see. Dr. Hernbrand, have you ever considered raising the limit of number of decks in your deck list from 24 to a higher number? Because you need more than 24?
Yeah, right. But that's been asked for a lot of times.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why this does come into play is because you can use deck switching to do costume changes as well.
Yeah. So that's one, and I'll throw this out there just because it's an internal talk on the team, is we look for ways that are things that are like convenience items. That's we haven't made it a big secret. We try to monetize on convenience items. We weren't talking about making it a pay thing, but that's one of the many items I threw out is like, well, can we start doing like we have this rewards program that right now only gives you like crowns and a deco or whatever, but it doesn't actually give you any convenience items in games, which is kind of what a lot of people do with those. That was one that I think I might have thrown out as a, let them store twice as many if they're a rewards program person. So I'll throw that out there and see if you guys see if people cough at that or scream bloody murder. Again, this is not like we're telling you only get like 2 and more. It's like 24 versus 50 or whatever. But yeah, that interface also needs some love. That's on the list for Devil Cult, but that's a little lower on the list than what Devil Cult is at right now. He's currently working on the stuff on the left. And aren't you having fun, Devil Cult? This is a good trial by fire, is seeing the side effects of changes as he's been making changes to the bar on the left-hand side. So, let's see. Bubbles ask, when will the rapid sale start in the Kodo store? That is one that we have a document of how to do it, but it's a little tedious. And my stress level is already high enough, and I've broken enough stuff over the last week. You're welcome for your 20 gigs of extra patches that you didn't need. So I actually told Wizard Smoke to do that. He was actually out today for some stuff, but he said he's going to do it tonight when he gets home. So hopefully it'll be on tonight, be live tonight. I told him to run it through Monday at noon, so hopefully it'll be in there tomorrow. So let's see. Bridge Troll. DC has a good mind for debugging, though. I say it every time. There's nobody on this team that I would not rehire again in a second. So he is a guy on the team. We're early here, but so far seems like a keeper. Let's see. Option to resocket gems. I forget what they're doing with that. B and Elgarion are talking about some of that stuff, though. You guys remember what we did for the April Fools? What we actually ended up pushing out for April Fools stuff? I know it wasn't my stuff, so I was disappointed.
Wasn't me.
Yep. Don't know.
I haven't gone to look. Let's see. April. Magic pink dye. We can do better than that. And of course, every song you ever wanted to hear me sing. How are we doing on the prizes over there? We got 4. I think they got to level 5, so I got to do like 3 more again. And poor Laney.
Wow.
1. 2. Okay, almost. We're getting close there. So we got to stall for about another minute here. Who's been vaccinated?
I got 1 so far.
You got 1? Okay.
1 of 2.
1 out of 2?
I'm getting my first shot this coming week.
Sweet. Wife got hers 2 days ago. Maybe it was yesterday.
I'm gonna say that the woman who gave me my shot, she did a great job. She was skilled. She got it in the right spot. I used to get allergy shots when I was a kid, so I get shots like every other week, and a lot of those shots weren't too smooth. Sometimes you hit the wrong spot or just sort of swell up or whatever. But so it makes me an expert, I guess. So I was pretty happy with the technique used in the shot that I got.
My father was a hematologist when I was growing up, and so I'm extra critical of people giving me shots because he was one of those ones who could say, "Okay, we're going to get ready to do this," and they say, "Okay, I'm ready," and he says, "Oh, it's already done."
Let's see. It was funny. My wife, as I saw for a minute here, my wife went and got her. She has not hardly left the house in more than a year, so I drove her. Maxine and I went with her, and we drove her and dropped her off. That was not an in-car one. But it was funny having her come back out to the car, and she went inside, and she hasn't been, even done things like standing in the line, so she, takes it, especially when you're just getting your vaccine, it's like the end of the tunnel's inside there. But she was inside in line and had left a gap between her and the person in front of her, obviously. But she came out and she was furious because she left the gap, and then some guy came and got in front of her in line and just gave her a look or something like that, got in between her because she left the gap. And it's yep, welcome to going out in the wild there. That's what happens. You leave a gap and people jump in the gap. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got him. So first, let me do some thinking here. You guys want to pick any of the last questions off there? Thank you to Nefarious Gaming, in-game player. Thank you for the follow and an ancient druid. Love seeing the new names following us there. Hopefully you're new players of the game. You guys want to chime in and say you're new players of the game? We're new players of the game. But anyways, seeing a lot of names in there, so that's one of those things that gets me excited. And again, I try to pay close attention to, especially when we get things like new rewards program. People sign up where I'm I've never heard that name before. Always gets me excited. That's why I wake up in the morning and go and see all the people. So anyways, lots of new players joining, which makes me excited. Shadow Vice, thank you very much. Waldo Ptolemy, thanks so many times over. Chrisum Plays, thank you for the sub just now. Hollyhock, thank you for the bits ×3. Mad Chef of Xenos. Hopefully you're enjoying all the cooking stuff that's out there these last couple releases. Serenia Malorium, Mad Chef again, Waldo Ptolemy, and carrying you guys over the limit there, over the extra prize thing there. And Thori Kamara, 5,000 bits there at the last to push you guys over the level 5. So everybody say thank you, Thori Kamara, for an extra round of prizes, because between him and Waldo, they were dragging you guys across the finish line. Absolutely. And also, I guess I should throw out that that very kind and generous person also happens to have a town out there, Iron Hall, that we've done a few events at, that is probably looking for some more people to join up. So, especially if you're one of those new guys, go talk to that guy. Let's see. Suzur, thank you for the bits. Trokip, Vic Cannon, Inascule Inch. Trying to figure that one out. Submarine Mike, another guy who helped carry you guys over the line there. Thank you, Submarine Mike. Trokip, Bridge Troll, another long time name there. Hopefully he's enjoying his training dummies. If not, you now know you can yell at Devil Cult, and he can try and fix it. Let's see. Miskabel, Waldo Ptolemy again many times over. Gravity 42, Stymie, Long Live the Syndicate. What shirt am I wearing? Oh, Dead Game Company shirt, not the Long Live the Syndicate shirt. Let's see. Lancel, thank you, Lancel. Nice seeing you here. Dr. Hernbrand, my math friend. Thank you. Puddlefoot, let's see. Submarine Mike again. Vulcan Jedi. I'm trying to make sure. I'm going to try to only say your name once if I can remember. But, tons of generosity out there. Nefarious Gaming, 1970. Let's see. Treasure Pile, Corsevius, Saved a Grill. Thank you. Josen Vincent followed me. Thank you again. Another new player. Love the new players. Skaggy Media, Roy Spirituality. Is that it? Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. If not, I'm so sorry I missed you. But, oh yeah, look at all those new follows. We got Alms, Puyu Zapata, Ayana Messi, Ahad Pakara, Karthi. There's a bunch of different names there. King Plays R6. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for that. And as a reward for your generosity there, we'll give out a few extra rounds of prizes. Who wants to do it? Either of you guys interested in butchering names? I've already proven I can butcher names.
Guess I can give that a shot. Hey, there's one question that was asked a few minutes ago that it might be worth restating. In the beginning of the stream, you talked about the zero patch. You might just want to give a brief summary again.
So that was, we had a new situation come up. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, you're one of the lucky ones. If you're one of the poor people who got 2 giant patches, so sorry. But people who are on the Windows, on our patcher, on Windows only, a problem crept into one patch, and then the fix for it crept into the next patch, and actually forced 2 back-to-back 0 to 374, 0 to 375 patches. You will hopefully never see that again. Taken steps to make sure it doesn't happen again, identified what happened, and also created some new tools so that we can try and test some of the patches before they go out, rather than just testing the client, because we had a way to test the client, but not actually the patch. But anyways, that was the problem that came up, was the patch didn't match the current build that was out there. And if it is even, like, it looks at it and says it's 1 byte off, it will lose its mind and not patch up and instead do a 0 to whatever. So that's kind of the fallback, something's wrong here patch. So sorry, that was actually on our end, but we should be avoiding that. And again, if you're someone who got that and you couldn't patch up, check disk space, because I think in all it probably, if you didn't have 30 gigs free when that whole nightmare started, trust me, it was a nightmare for me too. These guys can confirm. I was a little distraught because I actually spent all weekend trying to keep that from happening. And then the patch after I tried to keep it from happening, it happened. Someone ringing our doorbell. We don't answer the door these days. But anyways, so that should be fixed. It should not happen again. I'm so sorry about that. Again, if you were on Steam, you didn't see it. If you were on Mac or Linux, you didn't see it. It was just Windows people, which is, of course, our most popular client. More than half the people play on the Windows version of our patcher. And then the rest of them are on Steam patcher or Windows or Linux. So, super sorry about that. I saw my seed box had pushed out over 2 terabytes of patches to you guys. So, sorry. It's a lot of data. I know. Yes, Italian Greyhound, the best. Super insecure, will bark at anything. Let's see. So yeah, and again, I think some people said, so what? It took 15 minutes to download or whatever. Well, not everybody has a gigabit connection. Little monkey, what are you doing in here? Yeah? Yes?
What do you think's on the front porch?
I don't know. Box? You want to go check to see if it's fish?
Okay.
We bought fish. We have some. Oh wow, man, my hair. That's what happens. I didn't do a good job. I did take a bath, but you can see my hairline. I can't even tell which side it's on. I guess it's that side. I am cutting my own hair, by the way. I have been for a year, so. Sorry, lag. Anyways, I think we thanked everybody. Do you guys want to do it? I'm happy to call out the names if you guys want to avoid butchering people anymore.
I'll switch off with you. You want to do alternate?
Sure. I'll read the name, and then I'll read the prize, then you can read the name, then you can read the prize, and I'll read the name. How much more confusing can we make it? Can we get Keith in there somehow? All right, I'll read the prize and you read the first name there. You got the whole list up there. So the first prize is going out to Ornate Bagpipes, and that goes to...
Zither.
Keep going. There's like 7 names to call out.
Oh, all right.
Everybody got
I see.
Ornate
Okay, all right.
Bagpipes.
And then Tail Surava, and Bubbles, Arcus Blackwing,
Mm-hmm.
Mary Galandriel, and Hollyhawk, Daniel McLaughlin, and that's it.
All right, so now you can call out the prize, and Keith will read the names.
Okay. Brown Plague, Dr. Mask.
All right, hold on a second. Here we go. Arya Bloodmoon, Gemma Star, Kalorn Hammerthrow, Strophios Majeri, Neri Forestwalker, Phaestine, Dutarum,
Yeah, it's fun.
Tarawi? Yeah.
All right, so now it's
Sorry.
your turn to read the prize, and I will read the names.
All right, the third prize category is the Gothic Large Candelabra 3-pack.
This one goes to Corsevius, Necrotic Storm, Durin Toadsticker, Azurion Dufresne, Vivian Locke, and Litharian Silvermane. I did miss the first one, didn't I? Rowena Roseberry. There we go. All right, so it's my turn to read the prize, and Ravlox gets to read the names. Ornate Moondials go to...
Dedre Adri. Now I gotta get down the... Alright, Kathy Earnshaw, Titania Xylia, Dr. Hernbrand, Iron Fist Warhammer, Hagbarth Zaleen, and Sean McGalbraith.
This is good. I don't think we have any dupes in here for a change. We frequently have the dupes. So I guess now you, Ravlox, now you call it. You read the last prize, and then Keith does the names, butchers the names.
Green Marble Room, Koi Pond Dungeon Room.
All right. First, so those go to Mikkel the Unhomed, Blondie, John Don, Prazuka Oaken Valley, Nevadius Wilburn, Coke, Moosey Firefly. Those weren't so bad.
All right, that's all of them. Thank you guys so much. Again, for those who missed it, that is because we did they got to level 5 in the hype train, so we give out an extra round of prizes for every level they get in the hype train. But let's see. So this stream, did we do everything we planned on doing? We showed off this level. Was there anything else we're going to show off? We showed off the graveyard. I think that's probably it. I think we're good. I don't have to torture you with singing. I may record some songs to put on wax cylinders for you guys, because I know there's a few of you people who like to torture other people, and then you can also use it as a repellent. You can play it in your town if you're trying to keep people out of your town. There's many options. You can play them at dance parties at the end, to send people home or whatever. So I do need to record some of those songs. I actually looked into it, and then the challenge, of course, is recording copyrighted music and putting it out there. People sing all the time or do whatever music they on Twitch without any problems, but putting it in the game felt like it was a little more risky. So I've got a whole list of songs though that are legal to sing. So I will do it. Don't dare me. But I think we're done here. Again, I'll try and get a patch out. Normally I would have had a patch out today, but I'm trying to be super careful after kicking you guys in the teeth twice with the patches here recently, so I'm trying to make sure I get my money's worth out of it, and that I have a way to test and practice all that, try out everything before I send it out. So this time it will be small, very small. But I think that's it. No, do we have prizes? Did we get a list of stuff to read off? I'm trying to remember. We got through about half the questions. But no, I don't think Elgarion got us a list of prizes. He will probably have to get those out. Oh, you know what? I think he moved it to be monthly rather than weekly, so he's not going to have one every week. They're doing longer stuff, longer tournament stuff now. So, do we have any events this weekend? I'm trying to think. There's usually a dance party, but I'm not sure for sure there is. But I think that's probably it. So now we just have to figure out who we're going to raid. I'll be more relaxed next week. This week was kind of stressful for me.
Hey, Chris, did you see the note from Wizard Smoke?
Wizard Smoke says, about to enable flash sales to begin midday tomorrow. Let me know if anyone wants to follow along. Okay, so it looks like it'll be noon tomorrow. Midday tomorrow is when the flash sales go on. And again, this is, you can, if you see stuff now, you want to get it, that's fine. This is, for those who haven't seen it before, this is normally the store sale items change up once a day. These are making it so it changes up hourly, or is it hourly or is it every 2 hours? I forget.
I think it's every 2 hours.
Every 2 hours.
I could be wrong.
So you just get more items that come on sale over the weekend. So I am going to continue looking at doing the pushing out a XP weekend. I don't want to rush it, so that I may just hold that until next weekend and get it in a patch next week. Especially with the recent patching incidents, I am reluctant to push out a patch on the weekend unless we really need it. Because it does, I mean, I can see just even in our numbers, number of people playing numbers, having those patches out, each one of those, you can see the down dip for 4 hours or whatever afterwards. So trying to avoid doing that. So I may not push out this weekend. This weekend may just be sales. Then next weekend I can get out the experience stuff. So trying to refactor some of that stuff so we can do different types of stuff that we push out from the server without having to have a patch. But right now we do have the double XP stuff on the server, so we can enable it on the server, but it's on. So I've got to, again, in case you missed that earlier, so we will be getting something out there, but I just can't do it right now easily. I think that's probably it. So let me find stream to go
raid.
Go raid, unless you guys see
while you're
somebody
doing
out
that,
there.
I'll just reiterate the flash sales are not including, there is not included in the flash sales a Kodo sale. That was actually asked again while you were saying that. So.
Yeah, we weren't doing a Kodo sale just because we just had one a few weeks ago for, you guys thought it was for St. Patrick's Day, but it was actually because it was my daughter's birthday. So, but I forget, there was actually a couple holidays there. So we resisted this time. Instead, we're doing the sale on the other end. So all those people who bought a bunch of Kodos in the last sale, now you can spend them at 20% off and get the double bonus. Let's see. Oh, we got a couple new names out there. We got Save de Grill. I think we rated him last time. We got Nick Ease, Questing and Exploring. And then we got Chaotic Goo Dog. Let's see. I'll check Nicky's and Chaotic Goo Dog to see if they're in English and if they are open to talk. It looks like it. Let's see that guy. Yes. Yes. And I do raid streams that aren't in English sometimes. So yep, both those guys are options there. There's also The Graceful Bard, the amazing Graceful Bard, speaking of singing and being awesome. Serpentwine, Revenant 84, and Silver Trees out there as well. But let me, just because these two guys are new, let me see how many people they have. Either one of those guys have less than 50 or something. Oh, this guy died. 10 followers, Chaotic Goo Dog. Oh, he just died. He's actually trying to do some stuff. He's in Silo Sivan's lair. I totally forgot about that place. This guy has 7 followers. Okay, I'm going to do a 50-50 flip a coin here. If it's a 2, then we'll go to Nicky's. If it's a 1, we'll go to Chaotic Goo Dog.
So Silo Simon's Lair is a sub-scene nested under Blood River Forest, Blood River outskirts. So he's doing some early stuff.
There we go. 2. Who did I say was 2? Nicky's, I think, was the 2. Let's see. So we will give this Nick Ease guy a raid, and he will not know what hit him. He's got 7 followers right now. Hopefully, and he does let you chat in the channel. So let me get that going, then we'll go give him a raid. Again, you guys can go wherever you want to. There's a number of long-time really good streamers out there right now, including Graceful Bard, Silver Trees out there. Save the Grill is streaming. He was doing a 24-hour grill last time we rated him. Serpentwine and Revenant 84. But today we are going to Nick Ease. Guys, again, be safe out there while we get ready to go raid. We're fixing things up as quick as we can. I know there's some bugs that are still lingering. I'm glad we got some more big ones fixed this time around and some more improvements. Hopefully the performance is a little bit better in combat with large groups. I'm going to be doing some tests and metrics on that to see how that helped. If you have any complaints about UI, you now have, you can tell Devil Cult about it. He'll probably hate me for saying that, but you should talk to him about it. But he will be getting
Post a bug in the forums.
Yeah,
That's
or
right.
post a bug in the forums, or you can just nag him. It's up to you. Your call. Seriously though, if you do have constructive feedback on stuff, you can send it his way. But
Right.
we're
And
trying
a
to
quick note on
prioritize stuff.
the forums and the bugs and everything like that. We're closing the loop on those things, so the team is working with that. So it's like a circle of stuff going on, and so the more information we get on the forums, that gets into our system, and then we get it the right priority and get it fixed up.
And I see Tails saying fix FPS and Britmart pot. That is one of the ones I look at. That's actually one of my performance test ones. There's just you've been there, there's a lot of decos in a tight space. So I think we need to do a little more work on not showing decos. We're about to raid, but I will look into it. Thank you guys. See you next week. We will get another patch out. Bye.
Bye.
And it raided.